Hello, children of light. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and endless demands on our attention, the question arises, how can we remain in the presence of God? It's a concept that resonates deeply across spiritual traditions, a call to live not just in fleeting moments of divine connection, but to anchor ourselves in a perpetual awareness of God's presence. To stay in His presence is not to retreat from life, but to embrace it with a transformed heart and mind, aligned with a higher purpose. The essence of staying in the presence of God lies in understanding that it is not about proximity, but about perception. God's presence is always here, like the air we breathe or the light that surrounds us. Yet, much like sunlight obscured by clouds, our awareness of Him is often blocked by the distractions of the world or the turmoil within our own hearts. The journey toward remaining in His presence begins with quieting the noise and turning inward to the still, small voice that beckons us. Ancient spiritual practices teach us that mindfulness and prayer are gateways to divine connection. The Bible encourages us to pray without ceasing, 1 Thessalonians 5:17, a concept that may seem impossible at first glance. Yet, this ceaseless prayer is less about words and more about maintaining an open channel between our soul and the divine. It is an inner posture, a state of being where our thoughts, actions, and intentions align with the eternal. To cultivate this awareness, one must first recognize the power of stillness. In Psalm 46:10, we are reminded to be still and know that I am God. Stillness is not merely the absence of activity, but the quieting of the soul, a sacred pause in the flow of life. Through meditation, reflective prayer, or simply sitting in silence, we create a space where God's presence can be felt more intimately. The heart, too, must be prepared as fertile ground for divine connection. Forgiveness, gratitude, and humility are the spiritual tools that till the soil of the soul. When we let go of resentment and anger, we create room for God's love to dwell within us. Gratitude opens our eyes to the blessings that surround us, transforming ordinary moments into holy encounters. Humility reminds us of our dependence on God, grounding us in the truth that His strength is made perfect in our weakness. Many spiritual traditions speak of aligning with divine will as a means of remaining in God's presence. To walk in His presence is to walk in obedience, not as a burden, but as a joyful surrender to His guidance. The teachings of Jesus emphasize this alignment. If you love me, keep my commandments, John 14:15. This alignment is not about rigid rules, but about living a life infused with love, truth, and integrity, reflecting God's nature in our daily actions. Metaphorically, staying in God's presence can be likened to tuning a radio to the right frequency. God is always broadcasting, but we must adjust our inner dials to hear Him clearly. This adjustment often requires us to remove the static, fear, doubt, and worldly distractions, and replace it with faith, trust, and intentionality. The power of words also plays a significant role. Proverbs 18:21 tells us, "The tongue has the power of life and death." Speaking words of faith, affirmation, and gratitude keeps us attuned to the divine. Negative speech, on the other hand, lowers our spiritual vibration and distances us from His presence. By choosing our words wisely, we align our reality with God's promises, creating a resonance that draws us closer to Him. Practicing presence involves recognizing God, not just in sacred spaces, but in the mundane rhythms of life. Brother Lawrence, a 17th century monk, spoke of finding God in the simplicity of his kitchen chores, transforming ordinary tasks into acts of worship. This practice invites us to see every moment as an opportunity for communion with God, whether in the silence of the morning or the chaos of a busy day. Faith and trust are also essential to staying in God's presence. In times of doubt or hardship, it is tempting to believe that God has left us. Yet, Scripture reassures us, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted," Psalm 34:18. Trusting in His constant presence, even when we cannot feel it, strengthens our connection and deepens our faith. Community, too, can serve as a powerful reminder of God's presence. Gathering with others who share your spiritual path creates a collective awareness of the divine. Jesus promised, "For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there am I with them," Matthew 18:20. Fellowship uplifts and inspires us, reminding us that God is present in the love and support we offer one another. Staying in the presence of God also means surrendering control. So often we strive to manage every detail of our lives, forgetting that true peace comes from letting go. As Proverbs 3:5-6 advises, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." Finally, remember that staying in the presence of God is a journey, not a destination. It is a daily practice, a continual turning toward the divine. There will be moments when we falter, when the distractions of life pull us away. But each time we return, we grow stronger in our connection, more attuned to the sacred. As you move forward, take these practices to heart. Begin with stillness, cultivate gratitude, speak words of faith, see God in the everyday, trust in His constant presence, and walk in alignment with His will. Staying in the presence of God is not reserved for the few. It is a gift available to all who seek it with sincerity and devotion. Will you choose to quiet the noise, open your heart, and tune your soul to the divine frequency? The presence of God awaits, always near, always calling. Take the first step today and begin your journey toward a life filled with peace, purpose, and unwavering connection.